Are you wanting to become a YouTuber for fun or for profit? Then check out the amazing Blue Yeti microphone today. Affiliate link in the video description. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and oh boy, something's crazy in the land down under. So the Sydney Peace Foundation, which is an annual gathering to provide awards for people who have done well in activism work, are doing probably one of the weirdest things ever. They are giving Black Lives Matter the Peace Prize. Yeah, the Peace Prize for 2017, the Global Peace Prize for 2017. I'm not even kidding you. This event is scheduled to take place in November in Sydney, and the award itself recognizes the work of founding leaders of the social justice network, if that's what you want to call it, Patrisse Cullors, Alicia Garza, and Opal Tometi, who began working together after George Zimmerman was acquitted for the shooting death of Trayvon Martin. Now, this is funny too, because I like how they're framing this. Before I get into that, though, let's see what the Sydney Peace Foundation has to say. They say, "This is the first time that a movement and not a person has been awarded the Peace Prize, a timely choice. Climate change is escalating fast, increasing inequality and racism are feeding divisiveness, and we are in the middle of the worst refugee crisis since World War II. Yet many establishment leaders across the world stick their heads in the sand or turn their backs on justice, fairness, and equality." This is coming from them when they announced the award. There's a lot to unpack there, and I think a lot of it is clearly not something that's aimed at Black Lives Matter. If you want to see, okay, I get what BLM argues for, right? I guess the core tenets of the idea, I get it, but its methods are anything but peaceful, and this has been proven time and time again. And the funny thing, too, is that this particular award is being awarded to 3 women starting their activism work after George Zimmerman was acquitted of shooting Trayvon Martin 4 years ago next month. It was July 2013 when the trial concluded and he was acquitted of a crime he did not commit. It was a self-defense act. Those of you out there who never really followed the case point for point don't really understand that. And I get that. The media spun it as this huge, big thing, and it wasn't that. And that way the media spun Zimmerman is also the same way the media spun Michael Brown, which is really where Black Lives Matter itself started, based on a lie. Hands up, don't shoot, never happened. It was a soundbite perpetrated by the accomplice of Michael Brown in the strong-arm robbery, and a person who was trying to save his own ass because he had warrants out for his arrest in neighboring cities. It was something that was put out there in a way that was used as sound bites and sound clips and circulated throughout the area, and then it just led to what happened in Ferguson. Now, I'm not going to say that what the cops did in Ferguson was the best thing on the planet. It didn't help the situation. But what Black Lives Matter, when Black Lives Matter emerged from that mess, it was on point to talk about police injustice, inequality. The unfair shooting death of Michael Brown. Never mind the fact that it was proven that Michael Brown attacked Darren Wilson in the car. And Darren Wilson defended himself. There are things that have happened with BLM that are being completely overlooked here by the Sydney Peace Foundation. You can take a look at Black Lives Matter Toronto, which last year disrupted an organization, well, I should say not an organization, but a meeting, an unveiling of an LGBTQ mural in Toronto that police had painted as a way of bridging the gap between the communities, trying to work together. They showed up, shouted it down, shut it down, all while they were still considered to be the guests of honor at the Pride Parade for Toronto. And they were, a week later, the people at the forefront of that particular ceremony. And you know what they did during that Pride Parade? They held it hostage for 30 minutes until the Pride officiators signed a list of demands, or agreed to a list of demands, that Black Lives Matter Toronto used to hold up the parade. Is that peaceful? Is that fighting injustice and equality? Is that trying to work towards the betterment of all? No, it's not. It's callous tactics, it's temper tantrum throwing, and people unwilling to sit there and say, no, stop it, grow up. And that's continued. Milwaukee, shooting death of a black man led to a riot. Videos poured on out of groups of young black people dragging white people out of a parking garage, stripping them down and beating them. People saying that white people are going to get shot, white people are going to get their bricks thrown at cars as they drive by. Racism, 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 racism. That's never actually looked at as racism. You look at the events of Ferguson. Police stood out and let shit burn down, let shit be rioted because they didn't want to step in and stop it because they were told not to, because it would be seen as racially insensitive. Same thing happened in Baltimore after Freddie Gray. A CVS burned down. Police were told to stand back, to let the rioters have a place to riot. This is exactly the type of mentality and mindset that Black Lives Matter has put forth for the last 3 years. But yet they're getting a Global Peace Award from the Sydney Peace Foundation? Right now, you have an incident happening not far away from me at the Evergreen State College where a Jewish professor denounced a day of racial segregation on campus and has been threatened to the point of where violence was threatened on the campus. The police told him, the campus police told him, do not come to class, we cannot protect you. And Black Lives Matter is at the forefront of this, trying to push for equality and justice. That is what's happening in the world. That is the impetus of Black Lives Matter as a whole. And I'm sorry if you are pro-BLM and can't seem to realize that this movement is not about justice and equality and peace. It's the exact opposite. It's borderline domestic terrorism. In some cases, absolutely domestic terrorism. Is there ever going to be an answer to solving racial injustices in the world? Yes, the answer to that is arguing these points in a public debate forum, not shutting people down whose opinions you disagree with, and not burning the fuck out of your neighborhoods. So when the Sydney Peace Foundation comes out and simply says, we want to give Black Lives Matter as a whole the Global Peace Award for 2017, and award it to 3 women who've been working on activism in not where Black Lives Matter was formed, it seems very fishy to me. I want there to be peace and justice and equality in this world, but I also very much view equality in a very strict format. Equality is not something that, it's not equality of outcome, right? Because we're never going to have the same thing. It's all about equality of opportunity. Evergreen State College right now is pushing for equality of outcome, hence leading to this particular situation they find themselves in. And Black Lives Matter, as I said, is at the forefront of that. You cannot sit there and try to give a peace award to an organization that has done nothing but cause violence, chaos, destruction in the name of peace and fighting injustice and fighting for equality. It doesn't work that way. But this is the world we live in. This is a world we live in where just trying to have a conversation about it is met with violence or met with response. Anything is met with a response. These are people that are looking to cause fights, looking to cause problems, and many of them do it under the guise of Black Lives Matter. Not everyone involved in BLM is like this. I just want to make that abundantly clear. But the people out there that are, and the people out there that are doing it in the name of BLM, are not being shouted down by those who are not like that. The people that aren't like that are trying for actual, justice and equality in certain situations, they're silent. They're always silent when it comes to these things. And that's the unfortunate truth of it. So if you want to award the 3 women who've been working on these issues since 2013 and aren't involved in what Black Lives Matter has become, then award them specifically. But giving a Global Peace Prize to a movement as a whole that's done nothing to bring about peace is a slap in the face to everyone out there who's actually received the award before, like Desmond Tutu, Noam Chomsky, and the former Irish president Mary Robinson. People that actually have attempted to fight for the betterment of all, and not the betterment of a few. And that's what we're seeing right here. And it's sad that we've gotten to this point. I want there to be equality for everybody. I want everyone to have access to the same tools, the same education, the same abilities to succeed in life, and to make with their life what they will. Equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome. That is how you better yourself. And if you feel like equality of outcome is the better choice, then that's an entitlement belief and something that will never be achieved. And the more you believe it will be achieved, the more angry you get when you realize it won't. And that only pushes things like, well, the burning down of one's neighborhood during a riot over any kind of situation. It's just, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's sad. But that's the world we fucking live in. And I hope that one day we can come together and get past this. But until people realize that equality for 7 billion people is not going to be as black and white as they want it to be, and that you're going to need to start focusing on what you can get equal instead of what you want to be equal, baby steps are going to push things forward, not burning down a CVS because you're upset. Anyway, what are your guys' thoughts on this? I'm sure the comments will be interesting. Again, this is I think this is a slap in the face for actual peace activism out there. I do. I think it's a big slap in the face. It's the left right now is just gone. It's just so gone, and this proves it. So write your comments. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day. Peace out.